everybody, and welcome to week 1 of June. This month, we're not going anywhere exotic and crazy. At least not for me. I'm actually going to stay in my hometown area, so like Western New York, Upstate New York. There's a debate on what you call it. Either way, I'm focusing on that area this month. I thought it'd be pretty cool to show off my home region. And actually these are a bunch of recipes I haven't even had before, which is funny considering I've lived here my whole life practically, except for a few stints in California and in Virginia. So it's very interesting that I've never had most of these recipes. So today for week 1, we are starting out with garbage plates. Yes, garbage plates. A Rochester staple originating from, we think, Nick Tahoe's. Bunch of college students, I believe after a concert one night, were like, hey, give me a plate with all the garbage on it or with all the fixins on it, something like that. And the garbage plate was born. We are going to do 3 different steps. We're going to make the mac salad first. Then we're going to make the meat hot sauce, because a good meat hot sauce is quintessential for a garbage plate. Then we're going to put it all together. We're going to make some tater tots, which I'm not making from scratch. I'm just going to make some frozen ones up and pop them on the plate. So what it basically is if you go into a restaurant and you order a garbage plate, you're going to pick from a bunch of different things. Your first side is going to be like mac salad or baked beans. Typically, I don't like baked beans. Mac salad's okay, but I really like the mac salad in the garbage plate. So we're going to do a mac salad today. And then you get to pick your carb, basically. Usually home fries, tater tots, french fries, basically a potato. I've picked tater tots today. Like I said, we're going to make them from frozen. I'm just going to fry them up and put them on my plate. Then you slather the whole thing in a meat hot sauce. And then you top it with, I think you put the meat on afterwards. Maybe you put everything, the meat hot sauce on top of everything. We're going to make it however we want to today. You take the meat hot sauce, put it on the side and your potatoes, and then you top it with either traditionally burgers or hot dogs or one of each. I've seen a lot of places doing crazy different things. They've got like grilled cheese plates and like, I think I've seen a fish fry plate. And I went to this garbage plate. It wasn't a festival. It was like a thing you could go and sample a whole bunch of different ones. They had some cool, crazy ones. It was like 2 years ago though, so I don't remember all the ones they had. Sorry. My bad. But today we're making a traditional one. I'm doing a burger because I prefer burgers. I was going to do white hots too because white hots are a very Rochesterian thing. But I don't really like them. And I didn't want them on the garbage plate. I just wanted a burger. I also, this month, am going to be promoting some local, at least to Upstate New York. I think they're all going to be in Upstate New York. I don't think they're, or Western New York. I don't think there's going to be any from anywhere else. Businesses that are doing business up here that I want to promote that I like. For example, the other day I went to the Lilac Festival and I bought these cute earrings. You're going to see, there they are. You're going to see earrings from them actually a lot. I bought 3 pairs and I love them. That is Cleo and B. There they go. There's all their information. Leave that up there for a second so you can check them out. They, ooh, hello. They make really light earrings. These are super light. I don't know if they're resin or not, or plastic, I'm not sure. And then they're like laser etched. So this little symbol in that little mandala, I think it is laser etched into the earring. And then I got a couple of other ones that are made from what looks like wood. They're really pretty. I'll show those off as the month progresses. But that's my little shout out today is to Cleo and B. Their earrings are super cool. Check out when they're linked. I'll probably link them in the description below as well. But we need to get on with the recipe. We're gonna do it in sections, so I'm gonna start with the mac salad, give you the ingredients for the mac salad, and then move on to the meat hot sauce after that. And we're gonna go see the ingredients for that kind of separately, just to break this down a little bit easier so you're not seeing a bajillion ingredients all at one time. Now, this may be crazy. I've never made mac salad before. I don't really eat it on its own. I'm a pasta salad gal, not so much a mac salad gal. Yes, there is a difference. Mac salad is like mayo and pickle relish, and this one calls for pimentos and celery and things of that nature, whereas pasta salad is like cubes of cheese, black and green olives, Italian dressing, tricolored noodles, pepperonis if you want. I usually do pepperonis in there. So very different salads, even though one's a pasta salad and one's a mac salad. It's kind of similar sounding. Anyways, we're gonna start with the mac salad. This one comes to us from Sabrina Snyder over at dinnerthandessert.com. Again, the link for that will be below. And then when we do the meat hot sauce, I'll have the link for that one below as well. We'll get you all squared away with that. This month we are also going to be doing a couple of bonus episodes, as usual, for my Patreon members. If you're not a Patreon member yet, please check out our Patreon link below. There's all different tiers. Gets you all sorts of goodies, like a surprise every month of different prints and different products that you're not going to find on our merch store. Also link in the description below. Also, if you sign up at the most expensive tier, you can do that just for 1 month at a time if you want, and then go down to a lower tier. It gets you access to not only this month's extra bonus recipes and episodes, but also our backlog from Japan, Greece, France, and Peru. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, that's all I have to say. We're gonna get on to the mac salad. I'll meet you over at the counter. Welcome over to the counter. Hope you guys are doing well today. Like I said, we are starting with that mac salad. What I've gone ahead and done is cooked 1 pound of elbow macaroni. 1 pound cooked does equal about 2 cups dry pasta, so it took literally just 1 box, 16-ounce box of elbow macaronis, and I just cooked that till they were al dente. I love plain pasta, I don't know why. And this recipe is going to be super easy. We're basically going to take this, take all of our other ingredients, mix them up in a bowl, which I have right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that macaroni in this bowl, actually. Okay, so macaroni's in a bowl. Boop, boop, boop. And while we are taking this from Sabrina Snyder, just as a base, I made my own edits for things that I don't want in here. I don't want celery. Buy celery. I don't like sweet relish. So I put in regular dill relish, because I think with everything else, it'll be just as tasty. And for me, more tasty, and I might actually just eat it. So we have 2 tablespoons of dill relish. Remember, you can also use the sweet relish. 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of diced pimento peppers. I just went ahead and bought them pre-diced at the store. 1 cup of mayo, and a 1/4 cup of white distilled vinegar. You also need pepper, which I'm just going to do to taste. So basically what you're going to do, I'm going to toss in those pimento peppers, the relish, the sugar, the salt, the vinegar. I'm going to pepper that up. Grab the spatula. The mustard, yellow mustard, and the mayo. And then we're gonna mix it. Oh god, that looks wretched. We're gonna mix it all together. And you want to evenly coat the pasta. Super easy recipe. This part's not difficult, but it does need to be refrigerated before you use it. So I wanted to make this first, so we could pop this in the fridge and let it sit. You want to make sure you're pulling from the bottom, just so you can ensure that all of the pasta is getting coated in this mayonnaise-y mix. And I'm actually using, back when I had the Japan episodes, I bought Kewpie mayo. So I'm actually using a Japanese mayo in this, because I don't know, it's a little different than American mayo. I'm not sure by how, but I like the flavor a little better.
So I thought I might like it in this a little better too. That looks pretty well coated. I'm not gonna, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this in the fridge. And I'll see you back over here in a little bit with some ingredients for our meat hot sauce. See you then.
All right, friends, we are back to finish up that garbage plate. So the next step, if you remember, is to make our meat hot sauce. Yum! Rochester staple. Everyone will tell you what their favorite hot sauce is. I literally just started eating garbage plates in 2020, right before the pandemic, so I don't have a favorite hot sauce, to be honest with you. There's a bunch of like hot places around that make their own hot sauce. Tell me in the comments below what your favorite meat hot sauce is in the Rochester area. I also am, it's afternoon, so I am sipping on a Blue Toad hard cider. This is blueberry. They are local to the Rochester area. Super refreshing, super yummy. We love it. Very blueberry. I wasn't say very blueberry forward, but it's not. It's definitely there. You can taste it, but it doesn't overpower from the cider flavor either. So you've got a nice balance. But for this part of the recipe, we need different ingredients than for the mac salad, and then we're gonna put it all together. So I will meet you over at the counter with all of our ingredients for the meat hot sauce. Bye.
Hi again. On to step 2 in our garbage plate making recipe. We do have the mac salad sitting in the fridge. It is cooling, and like I'm letting it kind of marinate all the flavors together and whatnot. So I thought we'd get started on the meat hot sauce. For the particular recipe I got was from Jennifer Morrisey. I believe I said it before, but if not, I'm name dropping her again over at homeinthefingerlakes.com. She says it's not modeled off or meant to be a specific recipe. She's not claiming to be like Nick Tahoe sauce or whatever sauce. She just lists it as a Rochester meat hot sauce, just kind of based on our meat hot sauces in the region in general. I will let you know what she uses, and if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to put in your meat hot sauce or anything you want to try, I mean, go for it. I don't think you can really mess it up. Well, maybe you can. I'm not sure. I think as long as it has ingredients that you like and you're a fan of it, that's all that matters. So if you pop something in there that's unusual and you like it, it's just become your version of a hot sauce. So, hey. Anyways, though, we are going to do salt and pepper, as always, to taste. You've got 1 pound of ground beef, 6 ounces of tomato paste, 1 teaspoon of oil. I don't know if you can even see it in there, but there's oil in there. 1 clove of garlic minced. I did a bigger clove because I'm a garlic fan. I'm a garlic fan. 1 cup of beef broth or beef stock. 1 white onion chopped. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And then we have a spice mix. Let's see, it looks good. So in here we have 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, a half teaspoon of ground cumin, a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, an 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon, and an 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves. I also have, since we're going to top these with burgers, these cracked pepper ground beef burgers. To do it traditionally, you need like a flat top. You really squish the beef down. The beef patties that they give you are like this thin. I don't know why that's the standard, but it's like you typically go to like a Bill Gray's or a Tom Wall's or a Shaler's restaurant, and all of the beef patties are like thin. I think Five Guys does it too, where they like smush them down. I don't know if it's just because it cooks faster, but we'll be doing that with these burgers. And I bought the cracked pepper ones because I thought they sounded fancy. So I'm gonna actually meet you over at the skillet. We're gonna take our ground beef, garlic, onions, and oil right over there to cook up. I'll meet you over there. All right, so over at the pan, we've got our onion. We've got our oil in here. And we're gonna turn this on a medium heat. We're gonna put in the garlic
and the onions. Put them in like a thin layer so that every onion gets cooked. And what we're gonna do is cook this until it gets soft, and then we're gonna add the meat. I hear our onions sizzling. Woohoo! So I'm just gonna let this cook up for a little bit until they are soft, and then we're gonna add in the meat. We're actually gonna grab our spice mix too, because we're gonna put that in with the beef. So I'm gonna pop that over here. And since these are cooking anyways, you might as well go ahead and grab your brown sugar, tomato paste, and beef stock, because we will need that once the beef cooks. So it'll be good to have it already over here and at your disposal when you need it. To get these soft, I'm gonna cook them for about 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, these have been cooking for about 4 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the beef. There we go. And it does say to mix this in with a fork, so that's what I'm doing. I'm also gonna add that spice mix that we created. With the cumin, allspice, pepper, salt. What else was in there? Cayenne pepper, chili powder, and all the rest of the spices that were in there. Ground cloves were in there. I don't know if I said cumin already, but if not, cumin. See if I can't get those spices kind of onto everything. Onions, the meat. It smells sweeter than I anticipated it smelling because of the cinnamon and the cloves and stuff. I was expecting to be like super spicy because of the there's a lot of chili pepper in there or cayenne pepper in there, one of them or both. Yeah, there's a teaspoon of both in there. I don't know. We're just going to trust the process. This looks like these onions are getting better coated. The beef is getting better coated. I just want to stir it all together. Make sure there's no super white onions like the ones on the sides. Don't look like they've been touched by any seasoning. We don't want that. I'm going to flatten this out again so everything can get cooked. And then what you're going to do is cook this until there's no more pink left in the meat. And you're going to come every once in a while and just like stir it up with the fork, hopefully without scraping the bottom of your pan. Just to try and break up any clumps. Like this big clump. Because while we want the meat hot sauce to be chunky, because it is known, I forgot to mention that. Sometimes I just forget, but like a Rochester meat hot sauce isn't like a hot sauce where it's like runny and drippy, like, you know, like a Frank's hot sauce or a Cholula or Texas Pete or like any other kind of hot sauce like that. Tabasco. You want it to be like a thick, almost like a chili. A little soupier than a chili, but not too soupy. It's like a nice middle ground you have to find with it. And again, this is at a medium heat.
almost out of here, so I'm gonna let this cook. I'm gonna leave it alone for like 2 minutes and come check on it then, see how we're doing. All right, looks like all of our pink is gone, so we're gonna add the beef broth. The brown sugar. And the tomato paste. And mix this all together. Now again, this is a little soupy right now, but that's not the texture we want to end up with. So I want all this beef and onions and whatnot to really soak up that liquid that we're putting in here. So I'm just giving this a quick stir. I'm going to turn down the heat to like a medium-low, I think. It doesn't say to turn down the heat, but it does want us to simmer it. And usually when you simmer, you turn down the heat. So usually you turn it down to low. I'm going to do a medium-low just because it doesn't say at all to turn down the heat. So we don't want to go too far down with it, I don't think. Really want to get this tomato sauce incorporated here. It's tomato paste, rather, incorporated. Okay, that looks pretty well incorporated. There we go, that looks better. I'm gonna put onions everywhere apparently, which should surprise nobody at this point in my YouTube career. Alrighty, so I've hit this with the immersion blender once. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in. She said you shouldn't have to do this too many times, which is good because it's messy as all get out. But just enough to kind of really make that meat be a little more fine. Still want it chunky for the sauce, but you don't want it to be a chili. I feel like you want it to be somewhere in between a chili and a sauce. We still have about 25 minutes left, and I did add a little bit more beef stock. Jennifer does recommend doing that. If you notice, it's getting a little dry, which it was getting a little, it was starting to look a little burnt. Not burnt. It was just starting to look a little dry, so I added some beef stock in there. Again, you don't want it soupy. I may add some more in there if I notice that the bottom is getting a little like crispy again. As long as it doesn't turn out soupy, you're doing okay. See you in a bit. All right, we've got about 14 minutes left on our meat hot sauce. What I'm actually gonna do is start cooking that burger as well. The 2 burgers we're gonna need. Usually you put 2 burgers on. I can't eat that much food, so I'm gonna cook both burgers, but only use 1 burger on my garbage plate here. And I'm also, I don't know if you can tell, so I have my oil set up for my tater tots. And I also have some oil set up here for the burger, and then of course we have our sauce. But I just wanted to let you kind of see what's going on. I did add, again, a little more beef stock because it did get very dry. But for the most part, this has just been staying the same. It's nice and cooked. The onions are nice and finely minced. This beef looks really good the way it ended up being pretty finely minced as well. What I'm actually going to do is swap. We're going to let that go over here. Since that's just simmering in that pan, should be about up to heat right now anyways. And if not, that pan's hot anyway, so this should help that out. You can see what's going on. I think I mentioned before that when these get cooked up, the burgers are like I've seen them do it. They take like this thing that's completely flat and they like smush the burger down. So we're gonna replicate that a little bit. I'll put this on a medium heat. And I think it's to help it cook faster, but I don't know. This is a thick burger though. I bought ones pre-made from Wegmans there. So we're just gonna press it. Probably a little too flat. Oh, that pan is hot, be careful. Press it flat, makes it a much bigger burger. Not really bigger, it's the same size, but just a wider burger instead of a thicker burger. I last minute decided I wanted mine to be a cheeseburger, so I forgot about cheese for some reason. So I grabbed a mild cheddar that I just happen to have in my fridge, and I'm gonna use that at the end of this here. Ooh, our oil is doing fine over here. Now I'm cooking up just enough tater tots, basically just for me for this meal. I don't want to push it too flat, but they literally push it. Like they like smush it down. Tater tots are gonna fry up for about 5 minutes. And we've got about 8 minutes left on the meat hot sauce. So we're not doing too shabby. I think I started everything about the right time. Ooh, we are getting a little dry again. And I'll be honest, I'm not measuring the beef stock I'm putting in. I just put a little bit in, and then I assess and see if it needs more. But I think that's gonna be the last beef stock amount I put in here. When I was reading the ingredients for the meat hot sauce, it was mentioning the garbage plate in general, and it was like you pretty much want a well done burger. I typically eat my burgers medium rare to medium, so a well done burger is not like my favorite thing, but I understand in the garbage plate that's just kind of how it is. I just went and grabbed a bowl and put a napkin in there for our tater tots once they're done cooking. Probably didn't even need any oil in here. I just did it to, God damn it. I just did it to burn myself essentially. I just did it to like verify that it would cook, I guess. I don't really know. Alright, I'm gonna slap the cheese on here. These home fry or tater tots look done, so we're gonna take these off. Pop them on the napkin to pat them dry. Alright, I'm saying this is done. Remove that. I'm also gonna say our sauce is done. It's got about less than a minute on it, so I'm just gonna say it's done. Alrighty, we have our plates. It's time to serve this bad boy up. We're gonna do a pretty good scoop of that mac salad right there. Tater tots, again, you can do french fries, home fries, kind of whatever you want. These actually look real crispy. I'm saving one just to eat. Then we've got our burger, our cheeseburger. I'm gonna place right on the top. And we're gonna slather that with the meat hot sauce. All right, my GoPro died, so bear with me. We have your garbage plate right here. Got your mac salad, tater tots. If you can see it, the cheeseburgers under there with your meat hot sauce. If you're like me, I like all the fixins. Sometimes it's called all the fixins or everything. You'll see it on the menu. That means ketchup. That means mustard. And diced onions on top. I believe there's something else too, maybe hot sauce, but I don't think so because we've already got the meat hot sauce. So there's your finished plate. That looks good. Got like a little of everything on there. Got the beef, the cheese, or the hot sauce, the cheeseburger, the mac salad. Please focus. There we go. Tater tot, and the toppings there. So,
Tastes like Rochester. Ooh, that hot sauce was like super hot on its own because I tried it as I was simmering it. But once you got everything else in there, it's really good. And I don't taste the heat as much. So that's a garbage plate. Welcome to Rochester. Thank you so much for joining me on my first episode to explore upstate New York / Western New York and some of our cool dishes that have originated here that you may or may not know about. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you decided to try and make this at home because it's relatively simple. It just takes some time. And you end up with a really good product that I want to eat right now while it's still hot. But yeah, all of our links will be in the description below, including the recipes for both the macaroni salad as well as the meat hot sauce. And links to our Patreon, which you should totally join if you want some extra recipes. They will be lilac themed this month because it is lilac season. Here in Rochester, we are known for our lilacs. We have a lilac festival. The Lilac Festival, we also boast a bunch of tulips there. I believe the park that we have that Lilac Festival in, which is Highland Park, was designed by the same guy who did Central Park in New York City. Don't quote me on that. When we do the Lilac episode, I will have accurate information for you. But for now, that's what I'm pulling out of my memory bank. Yeah. So just join our Patreon, help us fund these episodes, as well as our trip coming up to Peru in December / January and beyond. So thank you so much for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day and be good to each other. Bye guys.